Lineup for speakers and panelists will provide valuable insights and strategies to help you navigate the complexities of modern-day business. I encourage you to actively participate in discussions and ask questions. I am confident that today's summit will be both informative and inspiring. I will look forward to valuable conversations and connections that will be made here today. Thank you for joining us, and let's make most of this opportunity to learn and grow. Please enjoy the summit.
Okay, our first session with Mr. Olani Soyinka. Sir, sorry about that.
I will be speaking on our theme titled From Clicks to Progress, all right? Because I don't have any clicker, and I don't want to be saying next. So anybody, the gentleman, sir, please, if I just signal you, just let me go to the next slide. I hope that will be fine so that I don't distract us with next. Are we together? Are we good to go? Are you ready? Tell your neighbor I'm ready. No, this is a youth conference. Come on, say I'm ready. Okay, guys, say it with a baritone voice. Say I'm ready. And ladies, say I'm ready. Oh, correct. That's nice. All right. So let's work together, okay? I can't see you. Okay, fantastic. Now, around the world, there are different industries. If I didn't want to waste time because of my time, I will have asked us, what are the industries that you know? What are the economies that you know? There's the agric industry. In fact, we were told that many years ago, there's been 4 industrial revolutions. Okay, the first one was the agrarian revolution. Okay, then the second one was where we began to have some form of mass production. Then the third revolution was where we began to have what you call the computer age, where the Bill Gates of this world began to gain notoriety. And of course, we are in the 4th industrial revolution, where we call the, not the IT age right now, the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things age. That's where we are right now, okay? And so there's been different industries, there's been different revolutions. So you have the agric revolution, you have the trade industry, you have the oil and gas industry. If I ask you to mention a lot of them, I'm sure you are going to be able to mention them. But did you know that there's also another industry, all right, called the, can we go to the next slide? Right? Called the knowledge industry. Somebody say knowledge industry. Oh, well, that should be like a surprise. When I stumbled on it a couple of years ago, I said, oh, you have agricultural industry, you have oil and gas industry, all right? How about the industry called the knowledge? There's actually an industry right now called the knowledge industry. And for me, with the advent of the knowledge industry, I believe that making progress, like we're talking about from clicks to progress, making money has been more or less democratized. So literally, every one of us have the opportunity. So knowledge industry is just from the word knowledge. All right? What you can earn from what you know. All right? You may say, oh, I'm a big boy, I don't want to do agric. No wahala. Oh, I don't have the qualification to work in oil industry. No wahala. Right? Trading, buying and selling is not my thing. No problem. But you cannot tell me that knowledge is not your thing. Except that person is a dummy. Except that person is foolish. Am I talking? Please, am I communicating? So that's the idea. The knowledge industry is a big deal. Okay? Then the knowledge industry, we also have what we call the gig economy. From the word gig. Somebody say, oh, I give him that gig, make him do. It's also an industry. It's also an economy on its own. I'm basically using this introduction to tell you and I that we literally do not have any excuse, all right, but to maximize, because I believe that there's possibly no generation than ours that has this privilege to explore and become all they can be. I say it always. I said people who died maybe 50, 40, 30 years ago, if they came back to planet Earth, they will think they are basically in another planet because of the rapidity in change. Amen. All right, so still talking about the knowledge industry, all right, do you know that Google is the most visited website in Nigeria? Can we go to the next slide? All right, Google is the most visited website in Nigeria, and we are told that Google processes over 3.5 billion searches every single day and about 1.3 trillion search every single year. Because, of course, if you have any problem, even from word, you are thinking of a word, you had a word in a seminar, before you go to the dictionary, you probably go on Google, right? People go on Google to say, maybe the only thing you cannot find on Google is who I go marry. All right? But basically, you literally will find everything, every sort of questions. People are looking for information. That should tell you, that should buttress my point about the knowledge industry. So if you probably know something that people are looking for, when they Google up, they should find you there, and you can cash out. Am I talking? It buttresses my point. I'm talking about the knowledge industry. Per day, the world is less than about 7.8 billion, 8 billion people right now. And you have 3.5 billion. Can you not say, because anytime I see figures, right, whether it's money or anything, I love to ask myself, what is my percentage there? That's what I tell myself. Is he 0.001? That means I have more work to do. All right? So let's look at this industry. Let's go down, okay? The most visited website in Nigeria, How to Blossom. Oh, you can't see them very well, all right? So like I said, Google is the most visited. The next one is YouTube. The next one that I shaded is a porn site. So let me block it. All right, this is the house of the Lord. The fourth is Inkiri.com. I also didn't know Inkiri until I was doing my research. It's actually, how many of you knows Inkiri? Nkiri. Okay, don't be offended. Okay, it's a movie, all right, where you download movie. Fantastic. I didn't know until some hours ago. Sportybet. Sportybet is the fifth one, right? That's those who do bet, right? Then the fifth one, of course, is Facebook. The sixth is another porn site. The seventh is another porn site. The eighth is Bet9ja. If you don't see this one, you will know that my figures are not real. Then the ninth is the netniger.com. Now, this is as interesting as it is crazy. What this figure shows you is that 30% of the searches in Nigeria in 2023 is porn sites that people search. If you add that to 2 movie sites, you have 50% of the junks. I know some films are very good. I watch films once in a while, so there's no issue there. 50% is junks. If you add Sportybet and Bet9ja, 70%. The only excuse is that maybe YouTube, maybe people are looking for something. But this is the stats that we have as a nation. So you wonder why we are here. All right? So if I were to ask you, if we were to take a consensus now, how many of these searches, apart from Google, which other of these searches did you do most in 2023? Okay? There's no time for that, but that's the idea. So let's just go. I want to drive home a point. I want to drive home a point that, all right, look at it. Below our top 10 trending searches by Nigerians in 2023. Look at Moyo Lawal. I'm also aware, all right, one of our X-rated video again came out. Okay, this is a matured class. And so I can imagine why she was the most searched lady. She's an actress, but for some reason, one of her videos where she was sleeping with a guy came out. Some of you are very holy, you are not aware, no problem. Let me know. Oh, you are aware. Thank you for being sincere. So just imagine the kind of information that people are looking for. I'm saying this because it is pathetic. We didn't see a tech site. We didn't see somebody, probably, like I'll be talking about freelancing and all of that, Googling up a freelancing site, trying to develop a skill in the tech industry. We can't find any of it here. Okay? Let's go to the next one. So, in 2028, coming back to am I communicating? All right? Coming back to my talk on the knowledge industry. In 2018, we're told that the knowledge industry was worth about $170 billion US. By 2025, we are told that this same knowledge industry will grow up to 350 billion US dollars. Like I said again, my own prayer, my own thought is that what is my own share out of this industry or out of this cake? It's not reserved for some people. No. Well, it is reserved for people who will probably take up the lessons that we'll be sharing in this place and go and grab their own share. You know, recently when banks are doing advert for shares, Fidelity and all that, they say, come and grab your own share. So it's like that is there for us to grab. Are you a consumer or a creator? I can assure you, those who will get their share of the 350 billion in the knowledge industry, which is also akin to the tech industry. The tech industry is also part of it. If you develop knowledge in the tech, you have knowledge. So it's still knowledge industry. All right? So are you a consumer or a creator? Please turn to your neighbor and ask that question. If I've not said anything today, I want you to ruminate on that. Turn to your neighbor and say, are you a consumer or a creator? That neighbor didn't hear you well. Turn to another neighbor and say, are you a consumer or are you a creator? I did a whole teaching on that some time ago on radio. Right? Are we consuming or are we creating? I can tell you for free, there is a greater percentage of people consuming than those who are creating. That shows you have a market. Am I cocking? I can tell you for free, over 90% of the people probably in this room, with all due respect to us, are consumers rather than creators. So what it means is that you have a market. You have a market. You just stay here. You've moved to the next one, no problem. All right? You have a market already. I have a market already. Right? Right. So what's the gig economy? So I talked about the knowledge. I'm trying to combine, we're moving from clicks to tech, right? So I'm trying to combine the knowledge industry, the tech industry, and the gig economy. What is the gig economy? In definition, the gig economy involves the exchange of labor for money between individuals or companies via digital platforms that actively facilitate matching between providers and customers on a short-term and payment by tax basis. It also refers to the workforce of people engaged in freelance and side work hustles. So you will have had probably, how many of you have heard of the word freelance? You've heard of the word freelance? You know some of those freelance websites. I'm going to drop some of them so that you can see and pick them from here. And probably after this session, you will go back and, burn, quote and unquote, the midnight candle and also take up your share in the gig economy. So the gig economy basically is how to use digital platforms. It is not a per se 9-to-5 traditional work where you go in the morning and come out. No, you develop a particular skill in an area, you offer your services digitally, and you earn money. Basically, that's summary what the gig economy is. So what you are being given is a gig, right? Is that clear now? So it's not a big word, it's not a big grammar, it is what it is, right? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so because of time, let's just go. So people who work in the gig economy can be freelancers, can be consultants, can be independent contractors, can be those who work as temporary workers. Don't worry, you will find yourself. I don't say all these one, I don't be contractor. I don't mean that local contractor. I mean you are being contracted, you are given a contract. Okay, and not a normal contract where you build house or build. No, you are just giving I don't know if you get me. You are given a contract to do, probably to build a website, all right? Probably to develop an app. So basically, these are gigs, okay? So even if you don't find yourself here, I'll show you where you can find yourself. Let's go to the next one very quickly. Okay, so according to the data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Median Earnings on Upwork, these are some of the highest paid jobs, as it were, in terms of the gig economy. Those who are into media buy, those who are public relation managers, those who are photographers, those who are artificial intelligence engineers. That's big deal. That fourth one is big deal right now. Business consultant. Okay, these are some of the ones who have earned so much. Yeah, thank you so much. The average hourly freelance rate per region, is in Africa, this is where we are, it's about $22. Imagine you are earning $22 per hour. It is big deal. And you see, there's no better time than now. Let me give you this expo. There's no better time than now to really move from clicks to tech. Do you know, from clicks to progress? You know why? Because the value of the Naira has depreciated. So what it means is that, let's imagine in 2015, I was earning 150,000 Naira. You were earning $1,000. Follow me carefully. You were earning $1,000. I was earning 150,000 naira. Is that clear? Now, let's imagine that our salary didn't change. And 9 years after, is it 9 years after? Yeah? This is 2024 or whatever year after. Okay? You are still earning $1,000. I am still earning 150,000 naira. But you will recall that $1 to naira was about $1, 150 naira. Okay? Do you understand? But right now, $1 to a naira is over close to 1,600 naira as of yesterday, about 1,508. Okay, it's dropped to 1,550. 1,590. So you see, so let's approximate it to 1,600. Thank you, sir. I'm telling you, it's important. It's unfortunate as a country that we are where we are, but I'm just telling you, it's also an opportunity for others. Can you help me water? All right, please. All right. So it's also an opportunity. Did I say that? Did you hear what I said? All right. It's also an opportunity for some of us. Excuse me. Thank you. So it's the case of when men say there's a casting down. Thank you. All right. Others will say there's a lifting up. Are you with me? The opportunity is there. It's for just us to take advantage of it. All right. So let's run very quickly because of our time. Please, am I communicating? All right, this is still talking about figures. I can always drop my slide if you want to see the figures so that you can be gingered. The idea of putting this out is ginger. I've not even started my talk. I'm just introducing to whet your appetite to see why you need to move from clicks, and make progress, or use the same clicks to make phenomenal progress. All right? So this is just figures and figures. Let's go to the next one. Then I go to, so now look at some of the advantages that you gain in the gig economy, right? You earn extra money. You have flexibility in your schedule. Nobody says 9 to 5, you have to stay, you have to go work, wake up 8 o'clock and come back 5 o'clock. No. There's flexibility in your schedule. You have control of your financial future. You determine the jobs to take and the one not to take because you are skilled. You become your own boss. There's nothing almost as sweet as that. Okay? You work from any location of your choice. Some of those guys in the tech world right now, they can say, today they're in Nigeria, tomorrow they're in Dubai, working from there, no change in salary, no problem, no issue at all. What kind of life is bigger, is sweeter than that? As in, nobody is calling, no guy is calling you to say, oh, Oga, you are not in the office 8 to 5. What's your problem? No, you are in charge of your time. You are in charge of the location that you work from. And ultimately, look at what it does. It helps you to pursue work that you are passionate about and the work that you find meaning in. Am I communicating? It's very important, right? Next slide, please. Okay, so these are some of the, so like I said earlier, I said, in case you didn't see your job you can do in the list I mentioned, again, I think this site can be shared. You can see graphic design is there, web developing is there, social media manager is there, becoming an editor is there, becoming a virtual assistant. Some guys are so busy that they say, okay, I need you to become my virtual assistant. You don't need to work with me as a PA, but you can do that virtual. It's a big job. Copywriting is there, right? Computer programming, business consultant, website content writer, content creators, right? Freelance writer, a tutor, an accountant, a photographer, a marketing specialist, a videographer. These are some of the gigs that you can find and move from clicks to progress. I'm telling you. Just gain mastery here and daily you can literally be earning in dollars. It's a possibility. Somebody tell your neighbor it's a possibility. Say, will you take advantage of this? All right, the next one. So these are some of the sites that you can go from today. Right? You can go and begin to, after doing some of the things I'll mention 5 things now, then I'll take my seat. After doing some of those things, probably over 6 months, over 3 months, then you can jump on some of these sites and begin to release your offers and see how you can also become part of those who will be earning big in dollars. I can tell you for free that if 90% of our financial problem if 90% of our issues is solved, I believe that 90% of our problem is resolved. Am I talking to somebody? Talk to me now. Am I the only one? Right. So what, after all these that I've said in the last how many minutes right now, probably 20 minutes or thereabout, okay, what should I begin to do? Ni Soyinka, you've told me all of these. I know the value in, next slide, sir, all right? I know the value in developing, is it developing my skills now or whatever? I've seen all of the importance, all of the figures and the numbers you have mentioned. I've seen them, all right? What should I begin to do from today? If that is your question, number one, you need to develop a skill in a particular area. So let's think about if it's digital marketing. Some of the freelancing jobs I mentioned, like I said, I'll drop the slide and you can go through, okay? Right? So I want to make it very practical, not just to give you figures and theories and say, okay, oh, I've motivated you, go and do it. What are the practical things that you can begin to do from now? All right, I've been teaching for quite a while, okay? When I mean teaching, training and all of that. So I know when it is, you can bamboozle people with figure and say, this guy is good. And people don't just go with anything and say, I was blessed. That guy is a good speaker. I've gone beyond that. Now, what are the practical things you can do? 5 things very quickly, and probably in 5-7 minutes I'll be done, right? Is to develop skill in a particular area. So look for, is it videography? Is it copywriting? Right? Is it, some of those things I've mentioned. Is it SEO? You know how to manage the SEO. Okay? Whatever it is, ensure that you go all out there. See, YouTube is no longer a place where you just go to download music. YouTube itself is a school. I'm telling you, it's a school. There's basically almost nothing. If you want to learn how to design a website today, my encouragement is for you to even start. You are not even paying anybody. Go on YouTube. That data you are using to just watch junks, just go on YouTube and learn. I can tell you for free, in about 3-4 weeks, you will gain some knowledge on how to create a website. Probably you even create your first website. Who knows? I'm serious with this. I'm serious. There's almost nothing. And you know the job about YouTube? It's very practical. You are seeing them how they are doing it. It's not just a tutorial that is a theoretical, it's theory-based. No, practically. So I'm saying Facebook, and all they do is that, smiling things, okay? Eating things, bomb things, falling in the gutter things. What junk people do. So you have to be guided. You need to build a brand. These days, when you go and interview, certain organizations, after you have done interview, they say you have 2-1. You did very well. After you have gone, they say, oh, let's Google this person. And imagine if you don't have a strong website presence, a strong web presence, sorry. One of the things that come out quickly, I don't have time, I will have asked everybody to Google your name. Many times, it's probably your Facebook or your LinkedIn or your X platform that comes out. Do you understand? Yeah. So you can try that after this program. Try and Google yourself. That's just to show you how much of your brand you are creating out there. Because it's not what you came to tell us, it's what we are seeing. Oh, am I talking? It's not what you came to tell us on the panel. It is what we are seeing after you have left. That's your strong brand. So you go on Facebook, for instance, and you now see, the first thing you see is somebody's Facebook. And the first thing you are now seeing is bomb things. We'll say, oh, this lady is good, however, she's not fit for our brand. So develop a strong personal brand. People buy people these days. People buy people. I'm telling you, they buy your brand. Because you are going to represent blow. Don't wait till your because the truth is this. You are living